First of all, I was going to say thank you so much for taking some time out today to come and see us.
Thank you for coming down.
Appreciate it. Did you have a nice Christmas?
We had a lovely Christmas. We went to Tenerife for 5 days, hence the tan.
Yeah,
right?
I look pale.
But we had a bit of a fright coming back, the plane.
Oh, really?
We landed in a storm, the plane hit the runway, and then he went to the side. Women were screaming, and he aborted the flight.
Oh, no.
Had to go around again. So, like, I've flown 1,000 times. The first time that's happened to me. So
Yeah.
she's at home now with a hammer and chisel cleaning the underpants.
I bet. You and everyone else.
Oh, unbelievable. Frightened to death. We were frightened to death.
It's not put you off flying now, is it?
Well, the kids, I have a 12-year-old daughter going on 36 and a boy. They thought they said, Daddy, we thought we were going to die.
Yeah.
But don't call me Daddy back, they call me Roy. Don't know, cheeky.
Did they really?
At school, and it's not cool to hold hands anymore. It's not. I said, Amy, give us a cuddle for Christmas. Oh, it's not cool.
Oh.
Man about cool. You'd want to cuddle if it was in the Sahara Desert.
That's the trouble when they get to a certain age.
Yes,
They're so cuddly when they're younger.
Oh,
and
yes, to give my doll that, don't
It's the hormones.
If I'm on the phone, I say, Amy, how does this work? Oh, give us it here. Hey, you're doing you know what kids are like.
That's what one of the questions I was going to ask you way down the list actually, was about Facebook and Twitter, because is it you that does it? Or is
No,
it...
our office do it. We do 50, 60,000 miles a year, so I don't have time, and certainly I am computer illiterate.
You are?
Yeah, at school I wasn't a very good speller.
Right.
My forte at school was drawing. I could draw anything.
Okay.
And I used to draw the other lads' pictures, and the teacher would say, Daisy, you've drawn this, you've drawn this. I haven't, sir. You're a liar. They're all the same.
Yeah. You can't get away with that one, can you?
But spelling, I was terrible at spelling.
Were you?
Yeah.
But you're all right now though.
Oh yeah, I'm 71 in 4 weeks' time.
I know. Yeah.
So-
Actually, we've got you can call it either a belated Christmas present or an early birthday present.
Oh, right.
It's up to you.
Yeah,
But,
that's lovely.
It was just as a kind of a safeguard, but I don't think I'm going to need it.
Oh,
But happy Christmas
Oh,
birthday.
well, that's yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Haven't seen what it is yet.
Oh.
Have you seen the back of it as well?
Oh, Jesus.
So, but I don't think...
There'll be £1,000 in that at the end of the day. That's brilliant. Now, that's definitely going to take pride of place in my house, I'm telling you now.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Alright. So, I have to say, people said to me, when I said that I was going to come and meet you today, they were like, good luck, and I'm like, but I don't think that you're the same person. Well, I can see you're not the same person on stage as you are in everyday life.
What happened with me is years and years ago, I was a clean comic, telling silly daft jokes, going on stage. Pat said to Mick said to Pat, that type of thing. And about 1969-70, there was about 7,000 comedians in this country trying to get on opportunity knocks, wheel tappers and shutters, new faces. And I auditioned in Birmingham, and I went down and I sat on the piano and I started to play, and right out of the blow, the lid come down on my fingers, right? And I lifted it up, and they all thought it was part of the act.
Right.
And everybody, like a panel, like they used to do on X Factor, there was a panel watching us. They all laughed, told a few stories, played a little bit on the piano, a little ditty I did, about being fat, trying to die to lose a bit of fat. People say I suited it just the way I'm sat. It was one of them songs.
Right.
And he wrote then I thought I'd finish with a big gag. It was about a bloke who ate too much. And the punchline was, you've only one ass. And at the end of it, I come off and the producer said, you're the funniest comic we've seen, but you can't say ass. Right? I said, sorry. I said, and I never got through. That was the first time I auditioned, just because I said ass.
And which show was that for?
It was Opportunity Knocks.
Did you
I went on New Faces.
Yeah.
I come second. The band that won New Faces when I was on, it had a country western name, something like the Denvers or something like that. They went to the Grand Opry in Texas, and they won a major competition and had a hit record in America.
But are they still touring now?
No, they'll be dead now. There's only me alive.
Not like you. Yeah.
But I was brought up in a house where you weren't allowed to swear. You know, and there's no toilet talk in my house. My kids are not allowed to. If they say anything, even hey, cut it out now.
Yeah.
You swear. I said, your dad swears for a living to get you money to buy you Christmas presents, and if you start swearing, I'll stop working, you won't get any Christmas present, you'll have to be locked in your room.
And I understand that though.
They just laugh. I say, I wear the trousers in our house because you can see them under my penny.
Good one, yeah. So how do you keep coming up with new material? Because your material's fresh all the time, isn't it?
It's you have to work hard. I've announced this year I'm not making any more DVDs because we've got 27 plus the documentaries.
Yeah.
That material has never been repetitive. It's always different, and that's because I've worked from the morning I get up in the morning to when I go to bed at night. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Now, at my age now, I think it's about time I took a back seat because it's getting more and more difficult to make people laugh.
Yeah.
You know, they've seen it all, they've done it all. When you've got a computer in front of you and you can Google anybody on the planet that makes you smile or laugh or silly things, or you know, and there's only much you can say about making love and women's pride and men's pride and all the things that go with joking. There's only so much you can say.
Yeah.
And not that I'm running out of material because I'm not by a long way.
No.
But this morning I picked the paper up and there's several stories I've got all of straight away.
I was going to say, what will be fresh, because this won't go out until next week probably. So what
well,
you got for tonight?
In the paper this morning it said the new G.I. John used to blow bouncy castles up. So I would say it's not the first time he's blown things up then, is it? You know, you pick up on the line. Sometimes papers give you the comedy themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's 1,000 bottles turned up on the Cornish coast, hasn't there? Pink bottles, did you see them?
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
No.
So I'm going to say the kids are singing 1,000 pink bottles landed on the beach. And there's always things to say.
Yeah.
You pick up on things all the time. Like Johnny Nash, famous Johnny Nash, is in an old people's home with dementia. So, I mean, as cruel as it is, I'm going to say, I can't see clearly now, my brain is gone. See, and what it is with me, is I say things people daren't say.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And that's what brings them back.
Do you know what I think about is that you're the kind of person who, you know, like the guys down the pub just finished work at the dock.
That's right.
They'll all be chatting and saying the things that they're not allowed to say in public, but you do.
There were several people this morning, I was talking to several fellas this morning, that was asking for autographs and photos.
Yeah.
They said, they were on about something, and I said, well, you know what's going to happen in 25 years' time? The kids at school said, what's the capital of Syria? And they're going to go, London. And they all started laughing. Because behind that joke is a bit of seriousness.
Yeah, well, Birmingham's not far off.
Oh, well, you could have said Birmingham, couldn't you? But can you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Sometimes you crack a joke, but there is a bit of seriousness. People say to me, you're homophobic, you're sexist, you're racist. I said, no, I'm a jokist. You tell me a joke about a thalidomide wasp with a glass eye and a wooden leg, and I think it's funny, I'll tell it. It doesn't mean to say I hate wasps.
Exactly.
I do, by the way.
Yeah, who doesn't?
But I'm just giving you the for instance.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
They said to me, oh this, and you shouldn't have said that. You should. I said, I'm not a politician.
No.
I'm not in the Houses of Parliament shouting them out about situations because I don't understand them. If I wanted to go into politics, I could have got into politics.
Yeah. Does it annoy you that people kind of persecute you for literally trying to make them laugh?
The difference is like when we met, you were a little bit standoffish, thinking, show me this. I've been in Marks and Spencer's at 10:30 in the morning, and a woman who butter wouldn't melt in her mouth shouted right across the shop, "Now, Chubby, you're fat." Now, we're in Marks and Spencer's. Your mum, your sister, your grandma, your auntie might be with. And I said to her, hey, there's a time and a place. And then all the bad language come out. Anyway, I told her to shut her mouth. She only got the police. Police come and said, you've insulted this woman, and she gave us a ring, because the police were in the area.
That's terrible.
And I told the copper, he said, you should have punched her. I told the Bobby what she said. But that's, you see, you can never...
No.
You
So
know.
what about hecklers? How do you deal with? What's the worst heckler you've ever?
Oh, I've had some calling my mother West and shit. But you get all that.
Does it actually? Have you ever got to the point where you've just thought, I've had enough?
Well, this is another thing. When I became a blue comedian, I decided that if you're going to go on stage at 12 o'clock at night in Blackpool, when everybody's had enough, you're going to have to have answers for them. So I wrote down as many answer backs I could think of. And there was one stage I had around about 450 things, you know.
Yeah, that's more than enough, isn't it?
And there was the clean ones.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, because I suppose you have to kind of be gentle first of all
Yeah.
and go for it.
Did your mother have any kids that actually lived? You know, there's that type, you know.
Yeah.
Why don't you take your face for it? You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's all the there, and then there's the really aggressive ones.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But
I bet the rest of the audience love it, don't they?
Well,
Like when you get back
well,
at them.
they pride themselves on it because they go over and say, oh, so Chubby last night, you'll never guess what he said to this bloke. You know.
I just don't understand what, I mean, I know obviously they've had a few drinks,
Yeah.
these people, but why on earth would anyone want to challenge you? I don't...
We did a documentary years ago at Blackpool, and it was filmed at 12 o'clock at night. And when I come off, even the cameraman said to me, how you put up with that, I never know. I said, it's my job. Yeah.
And that's what's the motivation to get back up on stage and do it again?
Ain't in the living, I think. Because I've stood at the bus stop at 7:30 in the morning in the pouring rain going to work. I've been a hod carrier, I drove a lorry, I've been a fitter's maid, I worked on the blast furnace on my hands and knees scrubbing pipes. I've done all that. So when I realised I had a gift to make people laugh and I was one jump ahead of other people, I thought this is great, you know. Now in the paper yesterday it said the doctors are saying 1 orgasm a day stops prostate cancer. The first thing I thought about was, at my age, 71, I'm not cutting down. So you see me, there's always something to say, isn't it?
Yeah. I was reading that you said while you were in prison that you read
A book, yeah.
Bob Pope's book, I Owe Russia $1,200.
Well, I got mixed up with some lads and they said to me, will you keep a lookout? We're going to break into a shop. Of course, I thought I was one of the Sopranos. We're going back 50 years.
Yeah.
I went, yeah, go on lads, oh, go on. And the copper come up, the alarm was still going off at the police station.
Yeah.
And the policeman come in plain clothes. I said, can I ask you what you're doing? I said, yeah. Keep a lookout, my two mates are breaking in this shop. It was a gift shop that sold buckets and spades, would you believe? Right? And what happened is I got sent down when I was in prison. Because I was the oldest by about 6 months.
Oh, right.
The judge said I should have had more sense. And by the way, I'd only been in trouble once before, pitching a bike,
Wow.
a push bike. So,
That was quite a harsh
and if you know where I
sentence.
come from, that's laughable.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I ended up in, and I the library used to come around. They used to come around with books. Have you ever seen Ronnie Parker and Porridge? You know, they come around with books.
Yes,
It was like
yes.
that. Somebody did the homework there, and I picked this book up, and it said, "I Owe Russia $2,000" by Bob Hawke. I thought, oh, comedian, so it got to be funny.
Yeah.
So I was reading this thing. There was photographs of him stood in front of all the troops, and he's telling jokes. I thought, you know, but the American humour wasn't how we
It's different, isn't it? I read it actually over Christmas.
So I was looking and I was trying to find things to say. The screws in the prison, if you made them laugh, they treat you better. You know,
Yeah.
they didn't push you about as much. As long as you made them laugh, and I was always making them laugh. You know.
Excellent.
So and I was looking for like lines, and he said something about an airplane coming down, and he got a 21 gun salute, and he wished the Russians had waited till the plane had landed. You know, and I thought that was quite funny.
Yeah.
So I changed it round, and a few other things I picked up on. Was one I picked up on when I said, "Do you know, ladies and gentlemen, I live in a place there's that much dirt, filth, smog, muck, coal dust. In fact, coming out my front door this morning, I could see this red light in the distance. It got clearer and clearer. It was the end of my fag."
That's in the book, isn't it?
I changed it round from, you know.
Brilliant, yeah.
So like, and that's what happens. You can only form an idea from an idea.
Yeah.
You can't. No use me talking to you about a nicky knocker knocker flapper lopper lipperstist if you don't know what one is. And if I said to you, my mate has taken up the Ackermann theory, which controls the diabolical use of diversity of the engine, which you'll go, so you're talking about? You've got to be on their level. You've got to be on the audience's level.
Yeah.
We talk about debt, sex, police, tax, garden, booze, slags, because he is, the things we talk about them that make us laugh. And people say, oh, you can't say working class, but we are working class, you know.
Yeah.
I can't understand, and I still can't understand why I pay 40% tax out of my money, and Starbucks, who earn billions, pay £30,000 a year. Because the government have allowed them to open their shops here. 30,000 a year. Yeah, it's.
I prefer Costa's.
Well, and also, who's running the country? Yeah, so I have a go at them.
Yeah.
Big time.
It's funny, reading that book, the Bob Hope book, I can see how you kind of got the motivation to want to be. I got the bite.
Yeah,
because you're very much, I can see a bit of Bob Hope in you.
Yeah.
In that he liked to tour a lot, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he was always one to want to please all of his fans and never really wanted anyone to miss out, did he?
Well, where I'm going to hold my hand up is I've never refused an autograph or a photograph ever, and if anybody says they have, they're a liar. And secondly, I love my job. And when when people say, oh, have you ever had any pills, any uppers or downers, or I said, I don't need it.
No.
My adrenaline comes from the audience laughing.
Yeah.
You know, and if I want to get really high, I'll have a pint of lager.
Yeah.
And a brandy.
There's nothing like a buzz from an audience laughing and clapping.
I did in 1985, 84, 85. I did 2 nights at the London Palladium, sold out.
Wow.
That's 7,000 people, and I did 3 nights at Edinburgh Playhouse, 3 nights sold out. So every dog has his day.
Yeah.
I've been around a long time.
But you've got a fantastic.
I've been up there, and now I'm just working out because I want to work.
Yeah.
I get a decent pension. I can back in tomorrow. I've got a young wife and a young family. They take most of my pennies. But other than that, I come back in tomorrow. But I love my job. And it's grown, as comedy's grown really big, because when you read in the papers, whether the papers are right or wrong here, Michael McIntyre earned 12 million this year, and I go, 12 million? Where did he have 12 million? He must have robbed the bank.
He does like places like the O2.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
Would you ever think about doing anything like that?
Well, you always look like a pea on a drum.
Yeah, it's not the same atmosphere.
Is it a joke not funny when I'm talking to you here that I'm in the next room? So, did you even want?
Yeah, no, it is. And then they have the screens, don't they? And everyone just looks at the screen instead of the person.
Well, when I did the auto, they said to me, you'll have to have a screen. It's £66,000 for the screens. I went, I tell you what, why don't we do the little conference hall next door?
Yeah. But do you prefer smaller audience?
Yeah, of course you do,
Yeah, you've got to.
So there's places that, because of my reputation, that are packed out within 24 hours. And there's other places you couldn't fill if you tried.
No.
We're down here, Southend on Sea. I love Southend on Sea. If I had a bad night there, I'd cut my throat. But don't forget, I've been going for 30 odd years.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of friends in our area in Southend.
Do you?
Loads of people that are on my Facebook. Can't wait to see you, Roy. Have you got any new ones?
Yeah.
Doing fine. Well, I have.
Yeah. Cool.
I've got a couple of new songs in new.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
That's another thing I was going to ask you about. You're an amazing musician. I've heard some of your stuff, especially on the piano.
Yeah, I love. I was about 35, 36 years old, and I was playing the ukulele, but I was always a drummer. So I was a drummer in the band.
Yeah.
And suddenly one day I went to see this movie, The Sting, with Robert Redford. And this music came on, and I said to my man, God, I'd love to play that. It's ragtime piano. And a friend said, well, the left hand's very difficult. It's called stride. You've got to find the octave, the third and the fifth. So, and I went home and practiced. I bought a piano for £5. It was right out of tune. Practiced for hours. Practiced for 11 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah, and then we got it.
We got it right in the end.
And then suddenly, it's like jokes. You tell everybody else's jokes when you start, but then you have to develop your own style. You've got to write stuff yourself, otherwise you're rubbish. You won't last, you'll just be thrown up the side. It's like music. If you write songs, one or two will come through.
Yeah.
I wrote a song not long ago, I think Richie will get you the single. It was for a charity, for an organisation. And they were in tears.
Is that Zoe's place?
Yeah, because you think about what you're doing.
Yeah, that's
lovely. You think about the children, you think about the fact that you have a child and you know it's only going to live to this 3-year-old.
It's heartbreaking.
It must be heartbreaking. So I had to think of that when I was writing. And I have loads of songs. When my son was born, Reese, I wrote this song about Reese, and I can't listen to it without crying. I can't listen to it. Because what came through my fingers on the keyboard was the things I was thinking about.
Yeah.
You know, after seeing him.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
Because I have an emotional block anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, when Middlesbrough win, I cry my eyes out. We got a corner last week.
Anyway, I better let you go because you've got a show to do tonight.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
So thank you very much for talking to me, and we look forward to seeing you in Southend on the 21st of January.
21st of January.
Yeah.
I want to say Happy New Year, all the best to Southend. Their team, I look every time, see what your results are. Now next week, things might be really good for you. We're saving up for some boots. You look after yourselves. Thanks very much. Bye.